What's going on, guys? Welcome to the ranch. I'm Jay, this is Charlotte, and we are a first generation ranch slash farm. And today that's what we're going to talk about, why we decided to jump in and start a farm. And it's going to be kind of a fun adventure.
Yeah, it already is.
Yeah, we are having a blast doing it, but we want to share really how we came up with the idea, how we found the land, why we are doing the things that we're doing, and really kind of break down the nuts and bolts, or we could say grass and seeds, of why we're doing this. So the first thing that we're going to tackle today is talking about, look, neither of us had any experience. We're first generation when it comes to really anything farm related. Charlotte's from Virginia.
Yep. I had one friend growing up that had a few animals on her property, and I was even scared of the chickens at that point, if that tells you anything.
And, I will say I had a little bit of an experience. My grandparents growing up had a small homestead where we had chickens, goats, pigs, turkeys, ducks, geese, but it was a small scale. But I got to learn a lot from that. And I think that's where my almost obsession came from with it. So that was a long time ago. I was probably 7 when all that went away. So it's been a long time. So now that we're here, fast forward. But after that happened, obviously life happens. Grew up, got heavily involved into sports, and then just spent majority of my life in the fitness sector of the world, working as a personal trainer and then helping other individuals build successful fitness businesses and brands. So
Got sucked into that.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's very fulfilling to be able to help somebody through fitness and nutrition. But from a personal aspect, this has been a huge goal. We're big, believers in developing goals and then developing a game plan, then going to attack it. You can accomplish anything that you want in life as long as you're willing to do the work. Funny enough, I had a piece of property on a vision board that I had built when I was about 23 years old. Seems like a long time ago. And I don't know what it was, but something inside me told me that I just wanted property. And then I just never really went and attacked it. There were other things I went and attacked, but just not this. And then, about 2 years ago, we started talking about it, and then took her to see a piece of property because, let's let the cat out of the bag, Charlotte thought she was going to live by the ocean.
Yeah, 100% sold I was going to live by the ocean. Growing up, my room was surf theme and everything.
And then I showed her what an ocean of grass looks like.
Yeah.
And she was pretty sold on it. Now, in all reality, it's not just about owning land or things of that nature. The deeper reasoning is in today's world, a lot of people spend time on their phone. I understand we're recording a video right now, but this is to hopefully encourage other people to see the same way. And, get back into nature, get back in touch with it, maybe put the phone down for a minute, get outside, and just have that connection with actual life.
Yeah.
And as we continue to build our family, we want to raise our kids on the farm. And that's really the big reasoning behind it. There's other goals of ours that we want to accomplish. We're going to, eventually get to the point where we're selling grass-fed beef, to our local community. That way, where your food is coming from.
Yeah.
We'll have other products along the way as well. But really, when it comes down to it, what is the real reason why we want to start this? It doesn't really have anything to do with business. It's not just about having the land. It's beautiful. We love it. We enjoy every single second that we're out here. Even if it is almost 100 degrees. It's 100 degrees right now. I'm sweating just standing out here, but love every second of it.
Yeah.
The real reason is for our future family, and being able to give them something, one, after we're gone, and two, being able to raise them what I would consider the best way possible. Being out here, not stuck in front of a screen, giving them responsibility, making them excited to go out there and have chores to do, and not just making them work because
just to work.
But like teaching them how to take care of something, and hopefully developing like small little enterprises for each child as they grow. And personally, I don't know, haven't been there yet, haven't been a dad yet, we haven't raised any children yet, but in my head I just see that as the best way to raise them, and that's what we're trying to do. So I know we were talking about future family, but our current family is this. Here's the boys. So we got Apollo right here on the far right. This is Titan. Ty, come here. This is Ty. This is the bestest boy in the whole wide world. This is Apollo. He's a good boy. And this is Zeus. He's an okay boy. Okay?
He's learning.
He's learning. He's our youngest. But these are our young boys for now. These are actually, fun fact, none of them are related. They're all rescues. I have a big soft spot for pit bulls. I would say we do now.
Yeah.
Definitely converted Charlotte into a pit bull lover. They're just the sweetest. They get terrible raps, but truth is that comes down to the parenting. No different than just like kids in the world. So we have a soft spot for pit bulls, and there's a ton of them out there that need help. So instead of buying a dog, why don't you go rescue one?
Yeah.
That's my plug for the day. Go rescue a pit bull. They're great. So.
Ty, what do you think?
Now on top of that, outside of just our dogs, our boys, we call them our boys right now.
Yeah.
So if we're ever in a video and you hear our boys, it's not kids yet.
It's these guys.
These guys. But with that being said, God willing, like we do want to have a lot of kids. So eventually, hopefully there are a lot of boys and girls running around.
Yeah.
I need some boys to wrestle, you know, I gotta throw them in headlocks and stuff.
Yeah. He does do that with these boys now, though.
Oh, that's
practicing.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, so now kind of moving into like what we actually have on the farm. Like I said, first generation, getting it, just really getting our feet wet and learning the ropes here, which we got a lot of work to do on the property itself, which we just did an update video on that because we are going through and clearing all the stumps. Basically, I'm gonna condense that really quick. When we found the piece of property, it was all wooded. We had a timber company come in, which was a learning lesson. And now we're going through and kind of cleaning up the mess. So that's where we're at currently. So when we show you around, there's a lot of bare ground currently, just because literally a week ago, we just started ripping up stumps. We have plans to cover that, which we'll cover in a future video. But right now, we're gonna talk about the animals that we have on the property. All right, so we'll go inside here. We'll show around a little bit, see if we can find the cows. It's probably pretty hot here, so they're probably just hanging out in some shade, but we'll see if we can find them. When we actually found this piece of property, it was in my hometown where I went to high school, which was actually pretty cool for us. We were looking for property for a little while, and you know, we kind of just stumbled across this one. We came and checked it out. It wasn't exactly what we were looking for, but we've really started to turn it into exactly what we were looking for, which is quite crazy.
It is crazy because when we were thinking about getting the land, he was like, I really want a land with rolling hills, and I see a body of water. I don't know if it's a creek or a pond, but there's a body of water. And like everything that he was describing is what it is slowly turning into, so it's really cool to see.
Which we didn't put the body of water in here, it was here.
Yeah.
And to Charlotte's point, when I was talking about that, I'd seen, because we're really big in like visualization and law of attraction, things of that nature, and I was like, man, I just see us walking by water, and I see us, you know, on rolling hills. But with this being all wooded, you know, we couldn't see it all.
Yeah.
We couldn't even tell that it was really rolling hills. Like we could tell, like when we would walk around, like, okay, there were some different changes in the terrain and things of that nature. So we could tell that there were, you know, changes in the terrain even when it was wooded. So we just didn't feel like it was like exactly what we were looking for.
Yeah.
But then we had that company come in, log it, and it really opened up, and it was like, holy crap, this is exactly what we were looking for.
Yeah.
And come to find out, there's little creeks that run over all over on the property.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy. You know, when God opens the door, it's not really up to you to decide if you should walk through that door at that point in time. He opens the door, so we decided to run, and that's why we just kind of jumped fully in. As far as the animals on the property that we got up ahead of us, we actually got some chickens right up here. So we actually have two different sets of chickens. We got one in the back pasture and one up by the house. These ones back here are younger, so they're not producing eggs yet. They'll really be like a tri-purpose. One, they will produce eggs, but that's not going to be their main purpose, because we actually want them to reproduce on their own, so we can just grow this flock naturally down here.
Yeah.
We will probably use some of them for meat birds as well, on top of really pest control on bugs. So that's going to be the main purpose for these chickens down here. Up front we got Rhode Island Reds and Buff Orpingtons,
Which have been great.
have been great egg producers. And they're crushing it up there. So
Yeah, they are.
so far they've all been doing well, but our main focus isn't chickens. Our main focus is actually cows, and we have Dexter cattle. That's where we started with. Reason being, going back to it, we have no experience.
Yep.
Okay, so we started with Dexter cattle because, one, they're a smaller breed. You know, really, if you've never been around cows before, some of them can be huge.
Massive.
Okay, and you know, again, with our goal in mind, what we're wanting to do, the reason we're starting this is for, you know, really raising a family. And, you know, if we got little kids out here running around in the future, I don't want them to being around, you know, 1,600, 1,800, 2,000 pound animals. We started with Dexter to get some experience, which they've been absolutely great.
Yeah.
Another reason why we started with the Dexter is because they're extremely hardy. You know, they can do very well on low quality forage, which we do have a lot of weeds here. Like I said, we are transforming from a completely wooded forest environment to pasture. So yeah, you might see a lot of green out there, but a lot of that green is weeds. So it's great. I mean, they're doing phenomenal on it. They're hammering the weeds. They've actually helped improve a lot of our pastures already, which is extremely exciting. Currently, we have a small herd of Dexter cattle. We also have one Jersey in there, which is a buddy of ours. We're just kind of helping out with that. But that's where we're at with our animals. We also have a donkey named Rosie, and then we have two horses as well, but those horses aren't necessarily ours. We are helping our neighbor out. They may or may not be here long term. We haven't really figured that piece out yet, but currently they are here. We're helping out because that's just what it's about. All right, well, we were trying to walk around and find the cows, but they're definitely hiding in the shade right now.
Yeah.
We saw one walk up all the way over there. So just to be honest with you, we ain't trying to die walking up over there. It's hot. So.
Hot.
And plus, I don't want to bother them. You know, they're hanging out in the shade. So if you want to see the cows, you want to see kind of our daily routine. I know in the back here you can kind of see some temporary fencing put up. We have other videos that showcase that. So not going to spend a ton of time there, but do want to talk about some of the challenges with being a first generation and starting this. There's a lot of lessons. Okay. Which is all, I'm great. I want to learn, you know, I'm all for learning, but there's a lot to learn. Just from the difference between management of the land, management of animals, like all the animals are different. You know, with there being so much to learn, like we really, our game plan is we've just kind of split the responsibilities of who needs to learn what. Because if you're trying to learn everything, my goodness, like
That'd be a lot.
Good luck.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of the, trying to educate us on the animals, from the cows, the horses, even a little bit chickens. I would say we share chicken responsibilities.
So while he's learning a lot about the cows and the land management and everything, and honestly a lot of his time also goes into like finding cows that we want, finding ways to manage the land and stuff like that. So while he's doing all that, I'll do stuff with the garden. We're trying to grow as much of our own food as possible too, so that's obviously a part of it. So I've really taken that on, and then just doing the day-to-day stuffs like in the morning, like feeding the chickens, letting them out and stuff like that. So we have done a pretty good job of like splitting the responsibilities in that way to make it significantly more manageable. Obviously we help with whatever if one of us needs help, but for the most part we do pretty good on that. It doesn't feel super overwhelming.
Yeah, and that's just like, if you were jumping into this and you were trying to do all it, like it does feel like it is a lot, like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the truth, but
Yeah.
that's why, like, you really have to understand like what you're doing it for, and our reasoning isn't just, yeah, we have fun doing it and we enjoy the process, but it's not like just something that we want to do.
Right.
We have a bigger reason and mission behind it, which is for our future family, future kids.
Yeah.
In the same time, we just enjoy it, which is, it's a win-win. Like, it's amazing being out here.
And that goes for really any goal, because I mean, even fitness, like we love fitness, but sometimes it's hard to convince yourself to go work out on the days if you don't have like an actual goal. So if you have like that purpose in mind of why you want to do it, it makes waking up and actually getting the things done that need to be done a lot easier.
Fact. Some of the challenges that we have faced, really, if we're just being 100% transparent, which we always are, aren't really that bad.
No. They're all just hurdles that you'd have to overcome, just like starting anything new.
Regardless, but the biggest challenges would be really not having equipment. Pause for the wind. But like I was saying, we do not have any farm equipment. We don't have a tractor. We do not have a skid steer.
We don't even have a truck.
We don't have a truck. We don't have a trailer. So really, that brings in a lot of hurdles whenever we're trying to get stuff done. But it's really okay. Like, we've been able to find ways around it. Friends, family, people in the community that are offering and willing to help has been really cool. So as long as you're able to go out there and do good for other people, you can find ways around that. So don't let saying, well, I don't have a tractor, I don't have this, I don't have that, stop you. There's always a way. You can always figure it out, and that's what we've done. There's always challenges. Our biggest challenge right now is getting this grass to grow. Got a lot of bare dirt out here, but that's okay, because do you know what the challenge was prior to that? Hundreds of stumps. So which challenge do you want to face? We chose getting the stumps out, and then we'll face getting the grass to grow here soon. So really what we want to do long term with the ranch is get to a point where we are producing high quality grass-fed beef, no chemicals, no herbicides, no pesticides. We haven't sprayed anything on here, and as far as we know, with this being wooded, this hasn't had any chemicals on it in years. And we want to keep it that way and keep the soil that way, so that way we can have that grass-fed beef that anybody that gets it from us knows exactly what they're getting. No vaccines, no antibiotics, no steroids, none of that. Just pure, off the land, grass-fed beef. And that's really our vision from it. Yeah, like Charlotte was talking about, we're going to try to produce as much of our own food as we possibly can. In the meantime, right now, that's our goal and that's our vision. That's what we're working towards. So,
and we want to just be able to provide that for more people, just because out there in marketing and everything, the labels for meats are just so misleading. So you don't really know what you're getting, even if it says like grass-fed beef. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, I'm not going to go on a tangent, but majority of the beef that you get in the grocery store that says a USA-based product is not a USA-based product. It's imported from overseas, which is just, unfortunately, I don't even know how it's legal to do that, but regardless, we're not going to talk about that.
That's a video for another day, maybe.
Yeah, so that's really our long-term vision. We both still work full-time.
Yep.
And plan to do so. You know, we both are very passionate about what we do. Like I said, if you missed it, we're in the fitness industry. We actually work for First Form, and this is really, you know, just our passion. Continue to add more value to the community and provide more value, just like Charlotte was talking about, being able to supply people with high quality food. They know exactly what's in it, where it's coming from.
And that's a big part of why we wanted to share like what we're doing on the land too, so you can feel more confident about like the process that we take to manage the cows and what they eat and everything, so you know also what you're eating.
On top of that, it'll just be cool for us to look back and remember where we were at, how it got started, and then for our kids when we do have them, be able to like show them like, hey, this is what it looked like. Because I mean, it's not going to take long. This place has changed so much in just 8 months.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
I can imagine, but it's hard to imagine what it will look like even 3 years from now. You know, it's going to be absolutely incredible. You know, God willing, everything with this country continues to go okay, or hopefully better. It'll be cool to see. So, well, we appreciate you guys watching. We just really wanted to share that. We haven't really shared why we got started and our bigger mission. We've talked a lot about what we have going on. Let's us share that purpose together so you guys can see, you know, we're just not out here talking about cows or chickens or farms. Like, the mission is bigger, our vision is bigger, and hopefully you guys, you know, continue to join us as we build this together. And for those of you that are watching that are, you know, inspiring and want to do the same thing and go start a homestead or a farm or go crazy and build a ranch, like, we just encourage you to do it. And hopefully, you know, you can learn from our mistakes. Hopefully we can teach you something along the way. We're still learning. So all I ask is that if you guys want to know any more about what we have going on here, you know, what we struggled with, what we've learned, ask away, leave us a comment, and join us for the journey. Because it's going to be fun. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to continue to grow. If there's one thing, like, we ain't quitting. So we'll be here a long time, and it'll be fun along the way. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
See ya.